Good morning. It is just after sunrise and I am in the Teanaways. Today I am going to be climbing Johnson Mountain, which just melted out. There's still snow at the higher elevations, but this is a good mid-elevation mountain to get some views. I am doing roughly, I believe, 6.5 miles round trip with just around 2,000 feet of gain. I'm having to take an alternate route to the one I had originally picked because the other road was pretty much impassable with mud and deep ruts. So I'm going up a route I didn't do quite as much research on, so we'll see how it is. It's a bit longer, but it does mean I'm going to be in the sun sooner. We've got clear skies this morning, but some clouds are supposed to roll in, so I'm gonna get on up this mountain. It is the end of May, but it is chilly. It's like 48 this morning, so I'm gonna get going to warm up. So I just crushed roughly the first 1.5 to 2 miles. It was beautiful through the forest. There's trilliums, the blueberry bushes are getting their leaves. But I haven't really done any climbing, and I can see where I'm going. So I came up this valley, gorgeous, and then I'm gonna be continuing up here, gaining the ridge somewhere in here, and then right on the corner here is a rocky outcropping. I believe that is the summit. If not, the summit's like right over that way. But I'm pretty much looking at all the climbing I have to do in front of me because I have done pretty much no gain so far, so this is about to become a much better workout. But I do like being able to see the summit, or probably the summit. I gained the first saddle, got up all those switchbacks, and now I'm gonna traverse kind of along the side of the ridge until I get to a second saddle, and then it's a steep boot path up to the summit. But you can see the views have gotten pretty darn good. Got Mount Stewart over there, some peekaboo views of the Enchantment Peaks, and I did a bulk of the climbing, so I can enjoy these views and get to the second point on this gorgeous day so far. The clouds don't seem to be rolling in quite as fast as they're supposed to, so I still got blue skies. I gained the second saddle, and on the north side of this thing, I had to like side hill along this whole ridge in the snow because it hasn't melted out there. But now I have a clean melted out trail to the summit. So I have to get up this. It's just a couple hundred more feet in like a third of a mile or something. So the summit is right there, and the views are going to be really cool based on what I've seen so far. It's an open summit, so woo. But yeah, I'm ready to get up there. Let's go. I made it to the top of Johnson Mountain, and this is a pretty cool summit for a smaller, easier mountain in the area. This is pretty sweet. I love this rocky ridge. I picked this one today because I wasn't feeling good, so I wanted to do something with less gain, a little bit easier, but woo! What a summit! This is awesome view. And of course we got a rocky ridge up here, so lots of good snack spots. It's kind of weird little arch in the rock there. That's interesting. Must have eroded away, or marmots are living there. Huh. But I made it up here. You can still see all of these amazing mountains, so I'm going to do some photography and eat. Well, I think it is time for the tour. It's still clear. There's supposed to be clouds coming in and they're forming, but can see all the mountains, so that's what matters. And I'm gonna start south with Rainier, of course, and then over here is Teanaway Butte. I climbed that roughly this time last year, and then we're getting into Jolly Mountain, Elbow Peak. Hex Mountain is gonna be over that way. That's a popular climb. And then we're getting into Esmeralda Basin. This is Esmeralda Peak, and then these white ones on that ridge, those are the Ingalls Peaks, South, Middle, and North Ingalls. The big pointy one, which is the real star of the show, is Mount Stewart. And then the ridge behind, those are the enchantments. You've got Kolchak, Argonaut, Dragontail. I can see the top of Little Annapurna, McClellan. I can see a triangle of Prusik. So the enchantments are still covered in snow. And then we've got Iron and Teanaway Peaks, I believe are these ones. Yeah, pretty sure. And this is the Teanaway Esmeralda Valley. And then this is the summit ridge. And then we got more of the foothills, and then going out into further eastern Washington. Gorgeous, gorgeous view. And it's really fun to see a bunch of the mountains I have climbed, because I climbed Teanaway Butte, I climbed South Ingalls, I've climbed Iron and Teanaway Peak, I've climbed Little Annapurna, and I got a couple more on my list that I can scope out from here as well, so that's pretty cool. And I guess the other thing is, like, maybe it'll come out better in photography, I don't know, but just the kind of stripes, the hills have these beautiful stripes in them. You can see the Teanaways always have this very colorful rock, but like from this vantage, there's some really gorgeous striping in this hillside here. And then this is the valley where I came up. Sorry, that's a very chaotic tour, but yeah, really, really great vantage point.
What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
I am heading back down, heading ahead of the clouds rolling in. They don't look as suspicious as they did last week. And also, the snow slopes on the back side of this thing are going to take a little bit longer to get down. Yeah, I did a different route than I had planned, but I'm glad I did, because this is a pretty cool route, and I think it was more scenic this way. The other way I would have been stuck in the valley most of the time, so I'm happy with my choice. But yeah, I'm not really looking forward to side hilling on that slushy snow for half of this thing. Once I get to the switchbacks, it'll be easy peasy, but till then it will be an adventure. But yeah, this is gonna be my view going back. I gotta get down into that valley down there, so see you at the bottom. I am on the last mile out of here. We've got some fluffy clouds above me and the creek next to me, which is a very nice part of the lower half of this trail. You just follow the creek and it's so pretty. But this was fun. This was an adventure today. I ended up doing a completely different route than what I had planned. It was absolutely the right call, because like no way my car was gonna make it up that road. You would need a Jeep, I think. So I pivoted. My original route was gonna be to go up Way Creek, and I ended up doing the Jungle Creek route. So I'll get home and find out what my actual stats were. I think it's gonna be around what I said at the beginning. I added everything up, looking at the topo, and it looks to be about 7.5 miles with roughly 2,000 feet of gain, maybe a little bit less. You know, that's probably a generous estimate. But this is a good one. I have not seen another soul today. The birds are out. So absolutely awesome. And then I got there in time to get beautiful views from the summit. And that summit ridge is really fun. Always good to get an open summit with 360 views. The Teanaways are looking awesome. So a fun little peak. There are quite a few ways to get up it, because the Teanaways have a whole trail system here. You can link stuff up. But this was a good half-day climb for me. Stay in shape, but also not do anything too strenuous while I'm not feeling great. So overall, I would call that a pretty successful peak bagging mission. I'm almost back to my car, so I'm going to finish talking. But it's almost the end of May. I've got a couple more things I want to do in May, and then getting into the June climbing season, and I am excited for that. So thank you so much for watching, and here are my favorite pictures from the trail today. Enjoy.